Okay, welcome back to Pachter Factor, my fellow babies. We are hopeful that you are a Patreon patron or a YouTube subscriber. If you are, then Shane is getting just enough to pay for gas to get to my house. You notice he's at my house. If you are neither of those, or even if you are doing one of those things, you have a chance to stick it to Amazon. So please stick it to Amazon. It's free if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber to link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account. Do it. The instructions on how to do that are in the show description below my face. Do it. It's important. It's free money. Amazon pays Shane. You get charged nothing.
This episode of Pachter Factor is brought to you by DeShazer Ryan Realty. Right now, Doug DeShazer has beautiful lots available adjacent to Koocanusa Lake in northwest Montana. Pull up your RV and access the hookups, or build your own construction. Either way, you have access to world-class fishing, hunting, boating, swimming, biking, hiking, and the internet. No matter where you're looking to buy, make Doug DeShazer your real estate consultant at 406-291-1643. That's Doug DeShazer at 406-291-1643.
Today's question from SIFTD from Khalib Twelly. When developers said not to hold them to the same standards as Baldur's Gate 3, was it more a reflection of game developers' anxieties or what consumers are actually expecting? Do consumers generally shift their expectations that quickly based on products that disrupt the market? What a great question. Look, I think anxiety is a great word. I think that it's a reflection of admiration for how good Baldur's Gate was. And I think it's basically an acknowledgement that we can't do that. These guys captured lightning in a bottle. These guys did a once-in-a-lifetime amazing game, which I still haven't played. They've done a once-in-a-lifetime, and it will be the next game I play, I promise. But these guys did a once-in-a-lifetime amazing game, and we can't possibly meet this standard. And the truth is, like, when you go see a movie, you pay the same opening weekend for a ticket, whether you're seeing, Wonka or, some crap movie. It doesn't matter. It could be a $250 million film budget. It could be a $30 million film budget. Your ticket costs the same. So I guess what the developers are saying on Baldur's Gate 3 versus their game is, you may pay $70, you may not get the same experience. And I think it's like every movie being compared to Gone with the Wind or Pulp Fiction or whatever you think the best picture of all time is. It's a Wonderful Life, Mary Poppins. They're not. So when you see the Academy Awards, it's like the best picture, isn't always the most expensive, and that's Baldur's Gate. Those guys just did a phenomenal job. And I don't even, Larian Games, like I don't actually know them very well. I don't know how they did it. I have no idea. They just got it right. That's how they did it. And how do you get it right? And the answer is, every year we get surprised in entertainment with some new person like a Billie Eilish. Where'd she come from, right? She's amazing. 20 years ago, Beyonce. Where'd she come from? She's amazing. 30 years ago, Tupac. Where'd he come from? And Prince, 40 years ago. The Beatles, 60 years ago. Where'd they come from? And, for a band to say, like Badfinger, we're not the Beatles, that's okay. You're not going to be the Beatles, But for every Prince, there's a Cyndi Lauper. She's okay, but she's not Prince. There's Kate Bush. She's okay, but she's not Prince. I'm okay with that. Now, I don't quite get Taylor Swift, so I'm risking backlash here. I think she's very talented, and I enjoy her music. I really do. I don't get why she's so big. Like, I think she's as good as a lot of other people. But, like, Justin Timberlake, I think, is just as talented, and yet he doesn't get the same kind of admiration as she does. But, again, it's taste. So, Baldur's Gate, Shane's trying to make me play it. It may not be my cup of tea. He said it's the perfect game, but I honestly don't like swords and slashing. I might hate it. And I got to say, I'm not a big fan of GTA, which everybody says is the best game of all time. I just find it repetitive. I don't like driving missions. I wasn't a fan of Elder Scrolls. I don't like sword games. I just don't. So, but I was a huge fan of Fallout because I like laser rifles, or plasma rifles or whatever. So, everybody's different. And same with my little wine story from another episode. I like expensive Cabernet. I know people who like, $10, $2, $2 Chuck. So everybody to their own devices, but I think anxiety is a great word. Admiration, acknowledgement that they can't do it. Admiration for the art and acknowledgement that they're not up to that task is really what drives these apologies in advance. I think they're pretty stupid, because I don't go to the movies expecting every picture I see to be the best picture I've ever seen. In fact, the hype on movies tends to be so high that I'm disappointed when I see them. I haven't yet seen Killers of the Flower Moon. It just showed up on Apple TV for free. I don't expect that much. Like, I'm sure it's good, but it didn't win any Golden Globes other than the Best Supporting Actress. It didn't win Best Picture. I don't expect to be the best. I think that consumers expect learning from the art community. I think they expect that standards will rise every single time something new and innovative happens. And I think to some extent that happens. So like the weapons wheel that you see in games where you can pick your weapon quickly in a shooter game, that somebody came up with that first. And others said, oh, that's a really convenient way to do it. I have to tell you, like, I played Fallout, and I remember there was a weight maximum of how much you could carry, and you had to strengthen yourself up to carry more. And I found that really interesting. Like, I was like, oh, God, I can't carry all these heavy weapons, so I ended up finding myself carrying some lighter, more power pack weapons. One of the things I hate about Zelda is I have weapon slots. And I need Korok seeds to expand my weapon slot. But I don't need more weapons. It's just that was a convention that somebody came up with. Because if you remember the very early shooter games, you could have 300 weapons and carry them all with you at all times. So limiting your pack, that's a new innovation. And so consumers should expect that there's a best practice in all game techniques that others will emulate. Season pass and free-to-play games, everybody emulated it. Fortnite invented it. I expect that. But as far as like the best game I've ever played and everything's perfect and I don't know how do you even evaluate that? I don't know. So yes, consumer expectations should change when somebody truly innovates something like the weapons wheel, or how many games have you played where you had a limited amount of ammo? It's fun. You only have 99 shots and you got to replace your clip. Like, somebody came up with that. I used to play games where you just had unlimited shots. You just bang, 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 bang. Early on, Duke Nukem, I think, was like that. Then they started limiting your bullets. Like, of course, that's more real, and if everybody did it, next thing you do. I love the games that give you armor that takes a certain amount of hit, and so you know how long you have to live before you better go get behind something and heal. Again, that's an innovation someone came up with. I actually used to like games where one headshot would kill people. Now you got to shoot them in the head like 6 times. But again, consumers shift their expectations pretty quickly if something really frame-breaking comes out. Baldur's Gate, I haven't played it. They will have some things in the game that everybody loved that others will incorporate into their games immediately. So look for that. And the cool thing about live service games is you can incorporate innovation on the fly, and you see that a lot as well. Okay, I'm going to make another plug for Amazon Prime and Twitch Prime. If you're a Patreon patron or not, if you're a YouTube subscriber or not, you can still link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch Prime account, so do it. Amazon pays. Stick it to Amazon. It's free money. You have already paid for that. Make them give that money to Shane because it's free, and they will pay Shane, and it costs you nothing. If you don't want to stick it to the man, I don't know what's wrong with you. Anyway, thank you for joining us on this week's Pachter Factor. We will see you next time.